Hope Channel, changing lives.
And welcome to the program Wounds of the Heart, where we're here to help heal any form of wounds that have been caused by trauma, abuse, any kind of emotional torture that has befallen you or I or whoever we know. So this evening we are so grateful to God for what He has done for us. May the Lord, who always sees the one who is in need, this evening be with us as we begin this wonderful edition of Wounds of the Heart. May He oversee today's discussion, and may His will be done in our lives today and forevermore. And what do you say to that? Amen. Today we are so grateful to God for bringing us here once again. My guest is already seated and waiting for me to introduce her. And as usual, Fabric by Slick Afrique, and the one who made the shirt is Upshot's Creation, who is located at Dansuma Nasoro Down, opposite 1+1 barbering shop. Upshot's Creation, that is where his Instagram, Facebook, Upshot's Creation. When you Google, you'll get him, and please, you can talk to him on that. And the flyer, the guy Alpha Art, who always put myself and the guest on the flyer, he also deals with graphics and any form of banner. If you need him for any graphics design, please, you can contact him Instagram and on Facebook, Alpha Art. He will just be right there for you. Today we are here to discuss issues pertaining relationship, both dating, courting, and in marriage. We've seen that a lot of marriages or a lot of relationships are being destroying, or it's at the verge of collapsing because of abusive nature of that relationship. Today, I have with me a lady who has the technicalities when it comes to this topic we're going to treat today. And I know that if you want to join this discussion, we are live on Facebook, Hope TVGH. You can click on our notification button, share the link to whoever is watching, and someone you think that he or she needs to watch this episode of Wounds of the Heart. And on YouTube, Hope TVGH, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also share to people for them also to get acquaintance with our program. Today I have she is not here with me, she's joining me via Zoom, and I will use this opportunity to welcome Dr. Angela. Dr. Angie, are you there? Doc, good evening.
Yes, I'm here.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening and welcome to the program Wounds of the Heart.
Good evening, sir.
All right, so for sake of introduction, I would like you to tell my viewers who you are and tell them something small about yourself. So we are hearing you.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me. There's a lot of feedback and I'm not sure where it's coming from. There's a lot of echo and feedback, so I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You want me to say something about myself?
Yeah, exactly. I want my viewers to hear from the horse's own mouth.
Oh, okay. You should have warned me. My name is Angela Gamnapwaje. I am okay. Right. My name is Angela Gamnapwaje. I am a middle-aged woman with a wife of one husband, with 4 children and 2 grandchildren. I am a lawyer by profession. I also am an advocate for women and children's safety and protection. I'm a theologian and a counselor.
Okay.
And I am the executive director of the ARC Foundation, Ghana.
ARC Foundation?
Yes, please.
Okay. And what do they do, ARC Foundation? What do they do? What are they into?
Okay. Yes, the ARC Foundation, ARK, the ARC.
Yeah.
So basically, that's the organization I've run for the last 21 or 22 years. We were established in 1999, basically to provide advocacy training and services to abused women and children in the country. So we work to speak up for people who are generally voiceless and vulnerable. And then we also provide services, counseling services. We provide shelter if somebody is in danger. We provide support through the court system, the police, with medical, with institutions and so on. So we help our clients or the people who come to us to go through the system and help them to overcome the situation that they came to us with. Okay. So we help abused women and children, generally speaking.
All right.
And then also do other things.
I lent you an author too.
Hello?
I lent you an author. You also write books.
Oh, well, I would say, I'm not sure whether I'll call myself an author as an author, but my PhD was actually on women's mental health and the church, the short form of the title. And so I've published the first book from that PhD work. And yes, it's been published and launched, and it's called Ministering to the Hurting, Women's Mental Health and Pastoral Response in Ghana.
Okay.
So, yes, it was launched just a few months ago. Maybe those who are looking at it may see it on the screen.
Okay.
And it is available in my office, and if anybody wants to get a copy,
that person should call me. I'll link the person.
Yes, they can contact us on the number, and later on you can maybe pass it on.
All right. Thank you so much. So in fast forward, today we are for the fact that you are the right person for us to engage you on this topic, abusive relationship. What does it mean for a relationship to be abusive? So what is abusive relationship?
Reverend.
Yes, madam.
Just hang on a second for me.
All right.
It's very difficult to hear you.
Whoa.
Very difficult.
My people, can you come and help me out here?
Voice over the background noise or something. Otherwise, I'll find it difficult to hear your questions.
Whoa. Technical people, please, can you do me a favor, please? All right. So, Doc, I was asking, what is abusive relationship?
What is abusive relationship?
Yes, please.
Well, an abusive relationship is a toxic relationship. It's a relationship where one person in the relationship, is going through a process that involves fear. So the person is either being harmed, is being humiliated, is being put in danger by another person's behavior. And this can be through a physical behavior such as hitting, strangling, choking, throwing acid on the person. It can be through a sexual behavior such as rape, defilement, incest, all other kinds of forcing people into sexual acts they do not want to conform to. It can be through an act such as an economic abuse where you deny the person access to their property or to money they have earned for themselves. It can be social forms of abuse where you restrict somebody from, participating in normal societal activities because you want to exert power over them. So, and then there can be psychological abuse where, you insult the person, you humiliate them, you denigrate them, you make them feel less of a person than God created them to be. So if these things are existing in a relationship, then it's an abusive relationship in which one person in the relationship usually is the one who is being victimized by behavior from another person.
All right, that is a wonderful definition. But how will a beautiful relationship just tend to become abusive? And I want to know what will cause a relationship to be abusive. What are some of the causes? What are some of the causes that relationship will lead into an abusive one?
What are some of the causes?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. For causes, there are several things that people say that are not true. They are more of excuses than causes.
Okay.
So some people will say it's because of jealousy, or it's because of poverty, or it's because of insecurity on the part of one person, or it is because of in-laws problem, or whatever it is, usually, or drunkenness, or drug abuse, and so on. Usually, these are really not real causes. The real cause is that one person in the relationship believes or arrogates to themselves the power to do that kind of behavior. They believe that they are superior to you. They believe that they have power from society or from authority to do that kind of thing. So if somebody is abusing you, it is usually because they believe they have power and control over your life. And as long as that power and control is not challenged, that person keeps on the abuse with impunity. So that is the real cause of abuse. But indeed, there are other things that can aggravate it. For example, if people do not know that in a relationship, they also have to respect other people, okay? So if you don't know these things, there's likelihood that abuse can go on. People who do not know that some of these actions are criminal, they also may act out of ignorance, thinking that it is okay for you to do that in society, to abuse another person in a relationship. Okay, so ignorance too adds to it. When it comes to women and men's relationships, as in, for example, husband and wife, it is because the one who is abusing also believes that culturally they are allowed to do these things. So cultural beliefs can contribute to abuse in such situations. Thank you.
All right. So you said the causes is rather an excuse that people give. That is what we think their causes are excuses, but that's not the actual cause where a beautiful relationship will turn into that of abusive one. And we thank you so much for that clarification. But I want to know, if I'm dating someone or we just met, what will cause that relationship to be abusive in the form of dating? We have never gone anywhere yet, but what will let that relationship become abusive in dating?
Reverend.
Yes, madam.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear a word of what you said.
Oh.
You may have to go back to your question.
All right, I said in dating. All right, so I think we need to do a quick turn, and I'll get back to you. So viewers, give me in a second. I will get back to you to continue this wonderful discussion with Dr. Angela Dramnap, and we are discussing what we call abusive relationship. Please don't go anywhere. I will just be right back. Please.
Channel Ghana in partnership with Bible Society Ghana, Lifestyle Network, and Seed Spring Network presents to you the National Bible Bee.
Accra girls, blessed are those that mourn, for
they shall be comforted.
Indeed they shall be comforted. The two dreams which Joseph narrated to his parents and brothers indicated that
He will rule over them.
he will rule over them is a correct answer. The family of Jacob. So that is what you are going to find for us. But you'll be given 120 whole seconds, enough time to be able to find those names for us. So the moment you hear the bell, you stop.
Join us this Saturday, 6 p.m. as Accra Girls Senior High School battle it out with Holy Trinity Cathedral Senior High School on the National Bible Bee, showing only on Hope Channel Ghana, your preferred Christian TV station.
We want to defy our family's decision and get married or elope. I need advice. What should I do?
Please, what should I do?
How do I tell her I cheated on her months ago? I need help. What should I do?
Okay, so for me, the moment I read the story, the first thing that came to mind was, wow, knowledge is indeed power. Sometimes we go through situations because we have no knowledge of how to go about them.
If you come from a home like that, you are likely to accept anything the outsider would, direct at.
The fact that we had an interesting ceremony where a priest prayed and all of that doesn't mean that magically you have turned into something else.
If he finds his way to God, a Bible-believing church, and he goes and he wants to change, nothing is impossible.
His properties to charity and start
a new life?
Why?
Okay, I think this is another discussion that we will not end today, so we'll not even go into it.
Real Talk, showing this and every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
For the lack of knowledge you will perish, as the Bible says in Hosea 4 verse 6.
The grace, the blood of Jesus is there for us. So I can't be sick, I can't be poor, I cannot suffer affliction.
Jesus told you, be faithful unto death to receive the crown of life. We have to go through tribulation, we have to go through problems, because there will be no crown without a cross.
The verse says that we will go through afflictions because of his name's sake.
Yes.
There are lots of eye-opening discussions to prepare you for the second coming of Jesus Christ.
I will go.
I will go.
Nitaenda.
Eu irei.
我願去，我願去。I will go.
Ich will gehen.
I will go.
אני אלך.
I will go. I will go.
I will go.
I will go.
J'irai. I will go. Reach my world, won't you?
Welcome back from the break. Sorry for that one. We need to fix things for us to enjoy the discussion. So we are discussing abusive relationship, how to overcome them. And Doc was telling us about the causes of abusive relationship, what makes relationship abusive. So we are talking about it. So in case you just joined us and you want to comment or send through WhatsApp is 0559 680066. 0559-680066, or you can put it on our Facebook page on Hope TVGH on Facebook, and we will have time to read those questions and comment, and we'll just share them with all of us. So, Doc, please, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So, Doc, I was asking before we went for the break. I was asking that in dating, how can a beautiful relationship dating tend to be abusive? Because from the courses you gave us, it's run through every relationship, whether dating, courting, or marriage. But in dating, I want us to pick it dating, then we go courting, and then in marriage. What can you say about how dating relationship can also be abusive?
Well, you can even put dating and courting together.
Okay, then fine.
And then they start courting.
All right, then fine, yeah.
And basically, in my experience, my work experience,
okay,
and what I've discovered is that sometimes the red flags start right before, during the dating or courtship period. Okay, and then if they are ignored, then you get into marriage and they begin to manifest more. It's not that the red flags were not there. They were there.
They were there, okay.
But because sometimes people say, okay, we are in love, and we think, oh, this is all part of the love game, whatever that is. And as they say, love is blind, okay? People tend to ignore these red flags. Simply, if you are with someone, and whether this is somebody you're dating, courting, or even in marriage, and you know that in this relationship, the person respects you. There's mutual respect. There's mutual sensitivity to each other's feelings. There is mutual belief in each other's dreams and aspirations. There is mutual trust to a certain extent, even though the Bible says that you cannot trust anybody, but in terms of a relationship, you build trust, okay? Yeah. When you see that these things are present, there isn't over possessiveness and over jealousy and those things, then you are in a relatively healthy relationship. Okay, devoid of abuse. Somebody who treats you like a partner, somebody who treats you as though you are a person of dignity, of value. They are happy to show you around, and treat you well. Somebody who treats other people well. Somebody who doesn't go about insulting people anyway, anyhow, and somebody who is not controlling of your life. If you see these things, you're in a relatively healthy relationship, okay? The person supports you in your career, in your work dreams and ambitions, and they encourage you to be the best you can in the community, in school, and so on. They are encouraging in their words. And so it's mutual.
Exactly.
It's not from one person, but mutual kind of. Of course, some will do better than the other, but that thing is there. Somebody who is not criticizing you. So when there's abuse, or there are likely signs that abuse can happen, some of these are the red flags. You have somebody who starts accusing you of unfaithfulness at any, point in time. Okay, I know of a story of a man, unfortunately, who anytime his wife comes back from work, unfortunately, and let me excuse me to say, would actually get her to remove her pants so that he can inspect her pants. Okay, yes. I mean, as for the stories and so on. Okay, so easy accusations of you being unfaithful, suspicions of infidelity, and if the person forces you to stop schooling, to stop advancing in life, okay, to stop working, for no particular reason, but just that I say so. Okay, if the person makes you feel as though, as for you were born to be my slave, as it is. Okay, even in dating or courting, there was a case that I had to intervene in which this young man had already started asking the young woman, come to my house, come and cook. If you can't cook, I can't consider you, and things like that. And it's not this once a while, oh, can you come to my house? Let's share a meal together. No. These are commands. Exactly. And you are not even married to the person, and he already expects you to cook and clean and wash and obey his commands, as it were. Somebody who humiliates you in front of others, you are speaking and you are engaging in a conversation, and the person can just have an outburst. That kinds of those kinds of things. Somebody who can threaten to hurt you. They haven't hit you yet, but they are threatening that they will hurt you. If you do this, I will knife you. I will, I will chest you. I will slap you if you do this kind of thing. Okay? Somebody who actually goes ahead to start beating you up. But after they beat you up, they tell you that, look, it's your fault that I'm beating you up because you are not behaving well. These are all signs and symptoms, if you like, signs of an unhealthy relationship. Somebody who criticizes you unreasonably, makes you feel afraid when you disagree with them. Okay, we are having a conversation and you are bringing your point of view, and that person and they won't let you bring in your point of view as though you do not matter. Makes you feel worthless, can easily throw your phone on the floor, those things exactly, or tries to control you and so on. When you see these things, okay, he's always on your phone or she's on your phone asking, where did you go? Who did you speak to? Why did you go here? All the time. This is not love. It's a clear red flag that if you get into a longer term relationship like marriage with this kind of person, you are going to get into trouble. So you either step out if you are not already married, or you point out that behavior to that person so strongly and ask them to go through a process of change through counseling and understanding why they themselves are doing that. If you don't, and now you get into marriage, you are locked in it, then it becomes worse. So it was there before, only you didn't see it, maybe in minute quantities, but
all right, so Doc, now it was there before, we didn't see it, now we've entered into the marriage. So what are the red flags as you're saying, in dating and courting, in marriage? In marriage, how can you say, what can you say about it?
Very similar. An unhealthy, abusive marriage carries a lot of these patterns. It's unfortunate. That is the place where you visit a couple's house and you can see there's rigid command and control. Okay, it's not one person helping the other, encouraging the other. You can see it in those kinds of places. You can almost sometimes taste the fear. And unfortunately, let me say this, it's not because I don't like men. I have a wonderful husband. I have a son I love very much. But I know, unfortunately, because of our cultural circumstances, most of the culprits are men. It doesn't mean women cannot be abusive. A woman who wants to be abusive can be so abusive that it will amaze you. Women can be abusive too. But if you look at the general trends across the world and in our own context, men have more power and therefore within domestic relationships, and they tend, some of them, not every man, some of them tend to use this power in an even-handed manner and actually cause trouble and harm. I've seen too many cases of women who have been beaten, strangled, thrown out of their home, locked out, even in COVID time. Okay, you are too near me. Your things are out of the house. You are carrying your child. You don't know where to go. Somebody has to call our organization to go and rescue somebody like that. Things like this, they happen in our society, and they are unacceptable.
All right, so there's a question for you, Doc. Is it, Pastor, please, I just joined the conversation. Pardon me for being late, but no problem, Senior. Pastor, please, I want to ask that if you are dating and you don't hug, you don't kiss, you don't sleep together, is it dating?
Oh, well, you're taking me out of line. As for me, being a Christian woman, I'll tell you, when you are dating and even courting, don't do those things, okay? The time for walking in error is gone. God
exactly.
Willing, that's it.
Exactly.
So please, if you are courting, dating, you are not allowed to be having sex. When you start kissing and doing those things, then you are getting into those things. So please, Keep yourself.
All right.
My God honors purity. So as a Christian woman, that is what I'll tell you. But other people think otherwise. They do all manner of
actually,
things.
it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Another one is that he said, you said mostly the corporates are men, and it is true. Mostly are men. But he's asking, can women be abusive? And if so, how? What would women do?
Abusive. Okay. So it's interesting. Let me just tell you a story to show how women can become abusive. Usually. So there's this story of a gentleman who married his wife. They've been there for a while, and then at any slight mistake, or he will beat this woman up, okay, and he will exert his authority and beat her up. Then one day something happened, and he was about to beat her up, and the woman pushed him, and he fell on his back. So this woman herself was so surprised, stood over the man and said, "Oh, Kofi Papa. Say now, all this while I could have beaten you up and I've allowed you to beat me up like this. From today to go in this house, we will see who is the master."
Whoa.
So this woman now, the thing shifts. She begins to abuse the man. If the man is coming home, but he's afraid, so if he makes any noise, he comes home, the woman is sitting on the sofa with her chair, leg on the chair, watching TV, eating her food. She won't mind him. And if he makes any noise,
something will happen.
Start beating him. Exactly. You see, somebody was dominating and but the now, tables flipped.
Yeah.
And that she has now become the dominator. Either way, it is bad. Abuse is wrong. Abuse is criminal. Abuse is a sin if you're a Christian.
Yes.
Because that's not part of the loving relationships God wants us to have with one another. Okay? So whoever does this, it's wrong. Even if it is in reaction to. So you find that for a lot of women, they start abusing when suddenly they feel powerful about a situation. Why am I this? Now I have you in my corner. Okay? There was a man who came to my office to seek help. And what was happening? He had discovered that his wife was slowly poisoning him. And I think that it had happened because this woman had, was feeling that this man had wasted his resources on other women, had not taken care of the family and so on and so forth. Now, that was her time to slowly poison him so that she can come into some property after he had left. So yes, women can be abusive too. Very, very, very much so. And sometimes they say verbal abuse from women is even stronger than the men because they have many words to say. And it's all wrong. It's all wrong. But on the databases, you have more.
All right. So, Doc, what are the signs that tells me that this person is living in an abusive relationship? What are the signs to tell?
Well, it depends on where you're seeing it, okay? So if you're talking about a marital relationship or, something like that, those people, they may be churchgoers or they are people who are in the community. Maybe the woman works in the office and market, whatever, or comes to church. You find this person is now unusually quiet, okay? Unusually quiet, withdrawn, socially withdrawn. And then maybe the person is started to wear big goggles, and then you notice some marks around her neck or face or something. If you ask, she said, "I fell down from the bed." If you fall from the bed, your cheek will not be marked. Okay, some will tell you, "I walked into a door," and you know that it's not true. Okay, so sometimes that's the way you pick up that people are being abused silently. They become sometimes depressed. Okay. Sometimes they become hyperactive at the sound of any noise you can see, or then when the abuser is coming to where they are and you gauge their response, you would see visible signs of fear, either in their eyes or from their reaction. And so sometimes it's difficult to tell because a lot of people don't like speaking about their situation out of embarrassment and stigma and all of that. But if you are sensitive to these things, sometimes you can pick them up from where you are in the workplace, in the community, or in the church community, and so on.
All right. So aside the physical you just spoke about, in marriage, we know that these things are what we hear or what we see. They start wearing these goggles, stuff like that, becoming quite a redrawn. Are there something that we can also be in the known if someone is living in under an abusive relationship where he or she doesn't want people to know? Aside what you told us, is there something that we need to be very careful at, especially those who want to commit suicide? You see, they will be talking about death, they will be talking about this and in a person, but with living in an abusive relationship, is their speech or what they speak about, does it change to something else, or they live the normal speech life, but the actions changes?
To tell you the truth, Reverend, it's difficult to pick up abuse if the person doesn't speak about it. And that is why sometimes there's education and there needs to be education. Please speak to someone. Okay, speak. Usually they'll come well dressed. You know, sometimes a smile on their face. Sometimes, so unless maybe it is you are close, or you are like somebody like me who has worked in this area for a long time. So if I'm in a community like a church place or something, I can sort of sometimes sense that, you know, and then draw near to you and say, oh, are you okay? You know, is there something you want to talk about? That kind of thing. Because there are people who have died not saying anything. There are people who have gone into the asylums, the mental health institutions, because of an abusive situation. In fact, you would find that a lot of the women who are in our mental health institutions, residential, they are there because of relationship problems. You can find out that data from the Mental Health Authority. Okay. You know, unlike most men, there are a lot of men who are there for different reasons, including substance abuse and so on. For the women, most of them, it's relationships that have brought them to that place.
All right.
So, yeah. So it's difficult. That's why we keep on saying, break the silence to someone.
All right.
Speak to your pastor. Speak to someone. Don't pine away and die.
All right. So we are concentrating in the marriage lane. All right. So if a married man goes into the wife without her consent to have sex with her, can we term that as an abuse?
In fact, Reverend, the truth of the matter is that rape is rape, no matter where it happens. The only thing is that because people are married, we are reluctant to name it as such. Sex is a very beautiful thing that God created for us as human beings to be enjoyed within certain confines. And for God, it's the confines of marriage. And if we are mutually attached to each other, it comes with all the dignity and respect that should, come with it. Now, if one person, let me just describe something. If I'm with my husband and, in the night, Wafa has brought his leg and I said, oh, Charlie, today I'm tired, things like that. And he playfully tries to turn me over, those things. And then it happened. You can't say that is rape or rape because, we know we have a way of...
Exactly.
But let me describe another scenario.
Okay.
So this woman has gone to have a cesarean section. She comes home, she's discharged after, let's say, 3 days. She comes home, the stitches are still in her stomach, and her husband says, I want to have sex with you. And she says, please, I can't have sex with you because of my condition. He says, no, I am going to have sex with you. He forces her to have sex with her. And in the process, the stitches open. The stitches open. And you want us to call what?
Hey.
Because he's the husband? I can describe another one. And these are cases that I know. It's not somebody told me. This couple, the gentleman has been committing adultery, let's say infidelity, okay? And his wife says at a certain point, when HIV was peak in Ghana, His wife said, I'm afraid. You know, I can't be sleeping with you because you are going to bring me a disease, you know. And he, of course, he wouldn't wear condom too because he thinks he's married. So he goes after these people and the other women, and then wants to sleep with his wife as well. The wife starts refusing. Do you know what he does? There is a bed in their room, and the bed is situated in such a way that it's against two poles in their room, wall poles kind of. So there's a space between the bed and the wall. This man manages to overpower his wife and puts her head in that space. So once he has her head in that space, in that angle, the woman is totally powerless.
Exactly.
And then he has his way with her. What do you want us to call that act?
Diabolic.
So it's not a flippant something, you know, as though people just want to make things out of nothing. There are serious cases. There are flippant cases, yes. But there are serious cases worth our attention, where somebody believes that because they are married to you, they can do anything they please with you, you know. And there are people who demand that their partner should watch pornography with them and do the acts, and you have to consent to it. I had a situation reported to me from another friend of mine who was handling it, where the gentleman brings in two other women. He says his wife should join them in the bed. She said, I can't do this. It became a problem. The issue went up to their parents. The parents said, it's Kweku who helps us. So he's the one who brings us money.
Whoa.
And we did her like that. So please, daughter, go back.
Whoa.
Stay there. Until other people intervened and said, your daughter will come back to you in a coffin. That was the only time when these parents tried to do everything to save the daughter.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. Whoa.
So we have cases like this.
All right. It's serious. Doc, so somebody asked that if you are dating someone, the person start taking money from you or demanding money from you, can it be a red flag? Can it be a red flag?
Yes, it can be. It depends. It can be a red flag depending on the frequency and the kind of way in which it is demanded.
Okay.
Look, I advise young people when they are courting that's not when you start dishing out money. You are not married.
Exactly.
What are you dishing out money for? You are not married. The person is under authority of the parents. You two are under authority. It's a friendship time.
Exactly.
So don't start letting the person start demanding money. When you don't have it, then you begin to see the person's true colors. So look, I don't have money today. Can you lend me something so that maybe I can take it to school? That one is normal. But if I come to you and say, I'm expecting you to, and I make the kinds of remarks, and if you are not able to give it to me, I insult you and think, of course, then that is a form of a psychological verbal abuse. Okay.
All right. So Doc, what are the effects living under such relationship, and how best can we overcome such relationship, especially those who are married? But let me ask this question again. Sorry. You were talking about the sex issue in marriage. The lady is asleep. The man will come, or the husband will come and make his way through. It's that abuse, not once, not twice, but continuously. When the lady is asleep.
So it depends on the nature of the case. I mean, if you're husband and wife and I'm asleep or you're asleep and I want to do this, it shouldn't be such a problem. But if it appears that that person is using it as a tool of oppression of some sort to then you are going into dangerous waters. Okay. So it would be case by case. Some people will do this to you consistently for you to know that they are using it as a punishment of a sort. Without your consent, with a lot of disrespect. In fact, some people will beat you and demand to have sex with you when they finish beating you. Yes. Okay, so those things are there. But that's what I'm saying. This is not a flippant thing where, wives and husbands, I have a headache or I'm tired, that kind of thing.
That's normal.
That kind of, those ones.
All right.
Normal.
All right. So Doc, what are the effects, the few effects for people who living under this relationship?
They are not few, but we don't have a lot of time to go into impacts. They are not few. even for the children who are in a married, the children of the couple.
Exactly.
Yes, what they see and the impact it has on them. We can talk about it in one program.
Okay.
How much more those that are involved in it. So the one who is facing abuse begins to feel very powerless, very hopeless. They can get into psychological impacts like depression and anxiety. You know, they are not able to sleep well. They begin to hyperventilate. So many things happen psychologically to one who is being abused. Sometimes they have to withdraw from the community they belong to. I know of a case where a man says to go out. You can't even go to your own sister's funeral. Hey, the lady said, no, as for my sister's funeral, I'll go. When she came back, all her dumas, all her clothing had been cut into little pieces and put in a box. Yes. I mean, can you imagine the impact it will have on somebody? You know, women and the way we keep clothes so that our children to inherit all damage that even to your psyche and to your soul. Sometimes it can be very, very, very bad. So, it has psychological effects. It has even economic effects. Some people lose their life. A lot of the cases we have here, you are being abused, but you don't have money too. So the person is even denying you either of working, or when you work, they take the money away. Or, you know, they keep you in poverty. They can spend on other people, but they keep you in poverty. And so this person comes to you and you have to find a way of helping them to get to a point where they can even start a trade or something so they can fend for themselves and their children. So it has several impacts.
All right. So in that marriage, how can we overcome? How can couples who have been abused in their marriage overcome such a relationship? Because the Bible says that unless fornication or adultery, aside that, the Bible didn't talk about abuse. So how do you overcome?
I'm not sure the Bible didn't talk about abuse. There are several references about God saying he does not like violence.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I don't have. I would have.
No problem. I get you.
Brought up, yes, some of the. And even if you go to the passage in Malachi, Malachi 2, and you come down to the place where he's talking about don't be treacherous towards the wives of your youth.
Exactly.
Okay, the word treachery means something close to, you know, betrayal and treason. God takes marriage so seriously. If we are limiting this to marriage,
yeah.
If a spouse or a husband, here he was talking more to the men in this particular passage, but yes, because they had more cultural power, treated his wife as though it was to God like treason. He said, beware of treating your wife with treachery, the wife of your youth. I am in that covenant relationship. I'm the witness of it. And any man who does that covers his garment with violence. You can read the different translations. It may be about the impact of the abuse on the woman or the very nature of what you are doing. And God says, I hate divorce. I don't want you to be divorcing, but I don't like you doing these things to your spouses. Okay, so it is important for us to understand that we need to work, particularly as the church and as Christians, to educate our people on how we build healthy relationships right from the start, and how to discourage abuse and say that abuse must be named for what it is. It's not part of any healthy relationship or the plan of God for our lives. And that is why usually we ask that you speak to somebody who is professional enough to understand what's going on and can help you to, build back your defenses. For example, if you came to speak to me, and you still are in the relationship and you are in danger, like some of the people who come to our shelter and can't even close their eyes because they are afraid that whoever is chasing them will come there. Okay. Now, yes, you are in danger. We can provide you shelter in the interim while the issue is being resolved on the other side. If you are back in the home, we go through something called safety planning. Safety planning such that if you sense that an incident is going to happen, of abuse is going to happen, you need to call some number, or you need to tell your children, to call Mr. Mensah in the other. You plan how to be safe You don't run into the kitchen because there are knives and warmer and things there that can be thrown at you. All of those things. People have died not understanding their own safety. Sometimes they become so used to the abuse, they even come to you and say, you know, and in that situation, they can be so hurt or harmed, they think they just want to get over the abuse, but it can turn out to be bad for them. So it's a process. It's very difficult to say just on one hand. It depends on the case, the nature of the case, and then the abuser. If a marriage can be saved from abuse, the abuser has to own responsibility for the abuse.
Okay.
And understand that they need to go through a real process of change, which will include accountability to other people who will superintend that change. Because you see, it's a matter of the heart. Exactly. And that heart needs to be awakened. And the conscience has to be awakened to understand the impacts of the abuse and take responsibility for it. If that thing doesn't happen, the abuse will continue. Unfortunately, I just have to tell you, the abuse will continue. It will only stop with strong intervention. That is why some people end up reporting it to the police, because sometimes it's so bad, somebody may be killed. Okay? But if the person realizes that, look, I know I have a problem, I get angry easily and I throw my hands and so on. And look, it's not just about your anger. It's about the fact that you feel that you have power to do that. Are you ready to take responsibility? Are you ready to seek help so that people can help you through? Like alcoholics who go to Alcoholics Anonymous and do the 12-step program. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay? That is how you can save your marriage. And in the interim, the one who is being abused must be kept safe. They must not be blamed for what is happening. They must be supported. Some people can even monitor them if they are still in the place, you know, the marital home, to see that it doesn't continue. So many things that need to happen. But in the end, the decision is in the hand of the ones who are going through that. So
the decision being in the ones who are going through that, Doc, we have called the abuse, the corporate and the abuser. We've called the one and the victim and the corporate. We have called them, we've spoken to them, and still it continues like that. What should we do?
Well, speaking to them is never enough. You know, and that's why sometimes my organization does training to help people understand that you cannot call people and speak to them in abuse. That is used in common household conflicts. Common household conflicts, which we all have in most households, even between siblings, you know, uncle and wife and husband. That is when you call them and try to speak to them, mediate and so on. In abuse, if you call the two together, that in itself is the first point of wrong, a wrong approach, sorry. Okay, you need to work on the one who is being abused and then approach the abuser in a manner in which you can bring them to accountability. Some people, when they have that power to do those things, because one way I was off my friend. Okay, some people, you know, they will just avoid coming. It means they are not ready to change their behavior. But as a counselor or somebody who helps you, you can never tell the person who is going through the abuse, get out of your marriage. No, it's not your call. You can support them, help them, educate them, and let them come to their own decision as to what they want to do. Then, you know, at that point, you would have done your work.
Exactly. So Doc, that is the point I want to so that we help them. So you call the victim, you are helping the victim, and after working on her or him, you call the corporate, the abuser. And he also had agreed that, okay, Mejai, I won't do it again. And they are living their normal life, and all of a sudden it triggers and it goes back and forth. What should be the final lies on the two of them, whether to stay under the marriage or to leave the marriage?
Particularly the abused person.
Okay.
But that is nobody's call to make. Exactly. It's the person, and that is why, for example, we do safety planning.
Exactly.
Okay. We recognize that many people just want the abuse to stop. It's not that they want to leave the marriage. Most women, you know, they don't want to leave the marriage, for example. They want the abuse to stop. So while they are there, how can they be safe? Exactly. So that's what you do with be safe. And then if you can perhaps manage to get this person into a process, and that's why I say the talking is not enough. Even if it's just that person must go through a process of work, a process of counseling, a process of accountability. And the person must know that they will be given up to the law if they don't stop misbehaving. Okay? And that is where you but it's not everybody who is, let's say, professional enough to handle abuses. It's a difficult piece of work, but it's my prayer that a lot of people will get the training to do that, because there may be some who genuinely want to change the course of their lives, but the power is so sweet that they think they can continue. However, if more people are able to help in that direction, it will help a lot of our families.
Beautiful. Doc, your last word.
Well, thank you for having me here. Yes, I told you about this book. It's on Amazon, Ministering to the Hurting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on Amazon, and you can also call my office. There are copies in my office at the Heart Foundation in Acho.
Okay.
And yes, whatever the situation is, if you are being abused, whether you're a girl, a boy, a woman, a man, please don't stay in silence. Speak to someone. Speak to someone who is wiser. Sometimes even talking to somebody can give you some comfort and some options as to what can be done to help the situation. Don't die or get maimed because of abuse.
Don't die.
There is help.
Don't die.
Yes.
Don't die. We need you. We need you alive. Doc, Doc Jamna Nyamin Shabebre, God bless you for your time. She don't have time. A lawyer, a theologian, a counselor, a director, Ark Foundation. She has no time, but she was able to make an hour with us to tell us how best we can overcome. I think that the education that she passed had helped you and I, those of us who watch and those who are going to share and those who are going to watch later on, that yes, if you are living in an abusive relationship, please don't shut your beak. Don't keep quiet. Speak out. Get somebody to talk to, so that at least, as she's saying, we can offer a help with you, and we can help the abuser also, so that the relationship will be better. And those of us who are in court,
sorry, just the hotline. Our hotline.
Okay.
Is 0243 7773.
7773. Again.
0243 7773.
All right.
It's very easy.
Very easy. So 77773.
Yes.
All right. Then that is fine. If you call this line, you are calling the Ark Foundation to help you out. But one thing I also had was that if you are dating or courting, and the red flags that she spoke about are clear, please, no one has bind the two of you separate. Go your separate ways, so that that person is not the right person for you. It is something God is telling you to quit from. So please, if those red flags that we spoke about you are facing them in your relationship, you are not married yet, it is telling you that when you enter into the marriage scene, the worst will come. Thank you so much, Dr. Angela Jamna, for your time with us. God bless you, and God bless Ark Foundation, and continue to do that wonderful work as you're doing. And my viewers at Fojo who join us live from Sunyani, God bless you, and Kunedu Asantewa, who for Facebook, God bless you, and whoever will watch from today or any the repeated episodes, God bless you so much. The program is Wounds of the Heart. God bless Slicker Freak for the fabric, Options Creation. God bless you, and I am Alpha Art. God bless all of you to extend your business whatever you're doing, and you who also joined me in today's discussion. God bless you for your time. I have been your regular host, and the name is Pastor Dan Abedu Bidiaba. I'm out.